Hey guys, what's up? I'm Robbi, as you know, and I'm here with my good friend PrincessLove, who has had the best last 3 months of her tournament career. It's been really exciting. And the 10K is one of the hardest tournaments that WPT win, and she had a super deep run. I'm so impressed. I couldn't believe it day after day. How did you feel about that?
I mean, it felt good. It was my first 10K. It was my first main event. First of all,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I haven't even been playing poker that long.
Yeah.
But it was my first main event, and I mean, I was happy to just make it to day 2.
No kidding. I don't think I've heard it say it too. So she's only been playing poker how long have you been playing poker? Probably.
It's officially been 1 year.
Okay, so less than
But it's been April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. It's been 8 months since I've played my first tournament.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
And then she also crushed the Storm X Invitational and made second.
Yes.
So it's been a really good run for you. It's been really exciting, and I think it's really good for poker because it allows the world to see that you don't have to be this super pro that can has to come out of really studying for 20 years. Not that that isn't encouraged, totally get that.
Because even if you've been playing for 20 years, you should always still continue to study.
Yes, for sure. I mean, I do too, and it's one of those things, but it's been really exciting, I think, for you this year and for people to see that there's not only more women playing, but you can just jump in when you're ready to kind of give it a go. And you don't have to have 20 years behind you. No. You could just really
You just have to have a love for the game.
For it. And I was saying this actually earlier when when people give me shit, they're she really sucks at poker. I'm I didn't realize you had to, I didn't realize you had to be good at something to enjoy playing it. You don't have to be good at it to play it. I get that I have my moments and I make stupid calls and I make dumb moves, right? But I fucking love it and I don't care.
Yeah.
So that's how I am. And I know that you're like that. We played a lot together.
I mean, it depends. If I'm just having fun with my friends, I'll make dumb calls.
For sure.
Just because I just feel like doing it.
Yeah, it's called gambling half the time.
Yeah, you're gambling.
It is gambling. But tournaments are harder.
Yeah, they're different.
So it is very impressive that you had a deep run. And it does, you have to kind of give yourself some kind of credit for making it that deep and sitting with the mega pros.
Yeah.
And having the confidence to sit up tables like that.
Yeah.
It's wild. So it's been really cool to see her and how deep she's run. And we still have one more to play tomorrow, which is a 1600.
Yes. And we're going to play that one together, right?
Yeah, we're going to do it together. It was a good field. I keep bubbling and she keeps making it. It's so great.
Yeah, I played the 3K 6 max. I just jumped in there and so I'm playing and they're like, okay, everybody stop going ham for ham. I'm wait, what's going on? They're we're on the bubble. I'm what? Already?
That's great. I know when you forget that you're there, that means you have a big stack and you don't have to worry about it. Because people watch when they're running low. But if you're a big stack, you don't realize the bubble's coming.
Yeah.
So she also got a min cash on that, which is super cool. And we're sitting at the Win cash room right now, which is she's a regular in this.
I'm playing cash right now.
I might join her.
I have been the table is crazy right now. I've been at the table an hour and a half, and I'm probably up 10,000 already.
That's crazy. Yeah. It's a 2-5 game.
It's a 2-5 game.
It's nuts.
But it's a fun table.
It is a fun table. They seemed really happy when we when you were playing there. And
who?
Everyone seems to be having a good time. So I might join her. We'll see. But we do have a tournament to play tomorrow, and that's a $2 million guarantee, and that's what makes this tournament thing really fun. Because outside of WSOP, this is the second biggest event of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there are others throughout the year that I'm going to be going to, but I feel like you're going to become a tournament person, yeah?
I'm for sure. I'm hooked.
Sweet!
You know what I mean? I'm hooked.
Yeah.
I love that you can just buy into a tournament and then you can just battle.
Yeah,
it's
competitive.
It's competitive,
and it's different,
and I love it.
It's a different strategy.
Yeah, you're really you're working.
It feels like a sport.
Yeah,
it feels like a real sport.
It's for sure a sport.
Yeah, I love it too. I just wish I could I'm just going for a min cash.
And I love how there's not a lot of women. Well, no,
that's so crazy.
I don't love. I wish that there was more women.
But doesn't it make you more motivated?
But I love.
I'm more motivated.
I feel like I have an edge.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because men can't read it. We can read them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they can't read us.
They can't read us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bluffed a lot today.
And they don't know because they're oh, she's not bluffing.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. And not only that, you do feel like first of all, you stand out a little bit more, which can be a disadvantage. But also, yeah, you can like do the woman thing that can confuse the men, and it's exciting to kind of like, I don't know, stand out in a crowd that is really comfortable being with each other and kind of like throw them off their game.
Right.
Because like I know that when I sit down, I'll get looks from people that like love me, and then those that are like still have an idea about me, for sure. And I'm like, I'm gonna get you, and it's tilting to them, and it's fun. So every table's fun and new.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna get you with the Jack 4 too.
You know,
on top
like
of that.
I do fold that now.
I need to start folding that because I see it. I'm like, ooh.
I get excited when I see it too, and I'm like, well, this is gonna work out for me again. I know it's not. Oh, one day I'll win with it.
Well, I'm new to this whole like poker scene. Like I love poker and I've been studying it, so I'm starting to know like, oh, who is who, you know. And then so I met my good friend Rich, and he's like, oh, you gotta meet my girl Robbi. I'm like, who is Robbi? He's like, oh my God, you don't even like, you know. I'm like, okay. But when I met you, I'm like, oh my God, I love her. She's so cool. And then you know what I love about you?
Yeah.
You are really for the women.
Oh, thanks.
You know what I mean? The first time I met you, you're like, hey, do you want to come do this? Like, you're the reason why I played the Stormax Invitational.
Yay! Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and you're always
so
like,
excited.
hey, come do this, come do that. You know, like a lot of women are not like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's hard.
I love you.
Yeah.
And
I love you too.
yeah, you're my girl. You're my girl.
And I think it's really fresh that when I came into the world of poker too, I came out of nowhere and I didn't really know who was who.
Yeah.
Like I knew the typical ones like Phil Ivey from like back in the day, but it was like, I think very humbling for those that are like, do you not know who I am? I remember like 2 poker pros that said that to me, and I was like, whoa, no, I don't. I Googled them later and I realized there was somebody big, but like, I'm sorry that you felt like I needed to know you.
So my you know, my husband, Ray, so we were walking and he's like, I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so.
Yeah.
And he's like, who? I'm like, you don't know who that is?
Yeah,
he's huge. He's like, does he know who we are? I'm like, he's like, let's go talk to him. I'm like, no, he's probably on his break. He's like, what? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
And you get to know them, and it is what it is. Like, there's a high level of respect for those that have been like doing it for several years and have had like multiple decades of success. Yeah. But yeah, there's not enough women that do it, and I've just been super excited about Princess because I knew that like I heard about you through Rich as well, and I was like, that's so cool. I'm like, why hasn't she like come out and played tournaments and everything? He's like, oh, she just plays like a cash game, and I'm like, but like she would be really good for the game.
Yeah.
I was like, she would really, and like you had like invited, like.
And I'm not like super tight either.
No,
like,
and that's why I was like, she's a lot like me. She came out of nowhere and decided she wanted to play poker, and I was like, that would be really cool for you to come out. So I'm so glad, and I'm so glad that you jumped in. And when you told me you were in the 10K, I was like, yes, like fire it again the next day. It's so worth it, and I think that it can change like the outlook of poker a lot more. Not only that women are playing, but like you don't have to have like 20 years behind you.
No, not at all. You just have to love it.
You have to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's people that don't support you if you need like the backing. I mean, I know we don't do that, but like I do feel that there's a lot of people out there that want to support women playing poker. And so when you jumped in, I was like, this is so friggin' cool. And when you had a deep run, it was like
and
the talk of the
I was on the
day.
feature table and Ray was on the rail, right? And you know, I'm always like watching it on my phone. So he was on the rail. I left the table and I go over to walk to him and I'm like, what am I doing here? I was like,
do I belong?
I was like, what is happening right now? I said, I literally brought this into existence from watching this every day and from like just
you
manifesting it every single day, like every minute of the day. You know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah, it's like the year of Princess 2023, and it's like not even over yet, which is kind of cool. But
just getting started.
I know.
Just getting started.
I know. It's very fun. I think it becomes addicting and exciting.
It is, yeah.
But you always have like a positive attitude, and you always laugh when you lose. And there's very few people that lose a hand and can laugh and have a good time.
Yeah. No, when somebody beats me, I'm like, boo. And I'm like, okay, that's you know, people are like, nice, Hannah.
For sure.
You know, you don't mean that.
I'm actually, you know what? When you cooler me, like I'm like, good for you.
No, I'm like,
good
boo, but then I laugh.
Like, if it's a legitimate cooler, if it's like you shouldn't have won, like the hand I dealt with earlier today, I'm just like, that's so tilting.
It happens though. I got quads 3 times in the main event.
I mean, like, who like what a dream to get quads 3 times.
I knew I was gonna go on a deep run. after the second time I had quads.
That's the best education.
Yeah.
I got quads 3 times.
3 times.
Who gets?
I was
a
like,
dream.
I was like, you know what? I might mess around and like win this thing because who gets quads 3 times?
It's
and
insane.
flops it.
That's a dream. But like they always say that you have to run hot and play well.
Yeah, definitely ran
Like
hot.
you need both
there
of
was
them happening
definitely
at the same
hands
time.
that I got lucky in, and you have to get lucky.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what happened to you. But like it's crazy because it's like you're now notable in the world of poker, and
That's crazy to
continue to be. I mean, I think that a lot of women have the opportunity to be because there's not many of us. But if you're out there and grinding and working, like I'm always like trying to be at the main stuff.
Yeah.
This is a big one, and I wish I came a little sooner, but always happy to be here and meet with everybody. And so this is huge.
This is like a lifelong journey. So with the WPT,
And even poker's growing so much. Like even like they didn't make the minimum in the main because of the Paradise thing happening at WSOP.
Yeah.
But you'll see all the other events doing it, and I like poker's just growing even infinitely a lot more than what I recognized it as like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. It's an exciting
And then
time.
you know what? Like for like me being like in the headlines, it actually brought. I was just talking to Ray about this. It brought a different dynamic to poker.
Yeah.
Because now when you look at the comments, you see all these like, it's just you look at the comments and you just see more of a diverse fan base.
Yes.
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 Very diverse, and I was like, okay,
Yeah, 'cause
I got people like messaging me like, hey, I want to learn how to play.
Yeah, I get that all the time where I'm like, where can I learn? And like, poker, the world of poker right now lacks a lot. It lacks like, there's like a huge gender disparity, there's a huge diversity issue. And I feel like you do bring something really different to the table there. That's actually a very good point. And I mean, it can only get better from here, I think. And like also a different skill level, a different like drive, motivation, and a different, I feel like when you're like more of a recreational player and you take it, I don't want to say less seriously, you kind of enjoy the losses as well, and it makes people more comfortable. I don't know, there's a different
I don't enjoy the losses,
feel.
but
you're
it's
like
a learning
internalizing
experience.
it differently, right? Like you're internalizing it differently. It is what
I'm
it is.
always like a little like when I bust out, I'm like, oh.
That's the worst. That's
but
the
I'm
worst.
like, you know what? This just wasn't meant for me to win.
Yeah.
I have to tell myself, if it was meant
Everything
for me,
happens for a reason is the way I do things.
Yeah, if it was meant
sure.
for me, then I would have,
You'll see another day. Yeah.
I would say just give it a try. See if you like it. I didn't even know anything about it before someone introduced it to me. So, I mean, it's just like you just have to have a love for it. Either you love it or you don't. It might not be your thing, but,
Yeah,
you
that's
have to start
true.
somewhere. Yeah, you can't make yourself like something. You either like it or you don't. And for me, poker is something that it doesn't matter if it's a $10,000 buy-in. It doesn't matter if it's $100,000. If it's a $100 buy-in. I love playing poker. I love tournaments. And for me, it's not about the money. I mean, of course, like making money. If you're losing, it's like
It sucks.
obviously you're not good, right? Or you want to win because it signifies that you're doing well, Like if I'm buying in,
Getting really lucky.
no, you have to get lucky. But I'm saying like if I bought in 2 times to the main event, right? I at least want to cash to get my money back.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to just lose $20,000.
Yeah, it sucks.
So if I'm getting my money back and running deep, it's like, okay, I'm doing well, and I can use that money to buy into other tournaments, So,
Yeah, like when I was out there and talking to my friend Ro, and I was like, I'm gonna go see Princess to play, and I was like, I think she's playing 2-5 or 5-10. He's like, so like, do you just not care 5-10, 100, 200? Like, what is it with you? And I was like, honestly, like when I first started playing, he's like, it must be nice. I said, when I first started playing, I didn't even understand the stakes. I'm like, okay, it was 100 or 200, it was 5-10. He's like, wow, you know what that means? That means you just love the game.
Yeah.
Because like the stakes don't matter, so you just love the game. So if like the money doesn't matter, and you're okay playing 5-10 or 1-2, like that must mean that you love the game, and that's what it comes down to. So my advice to women would be specifically that, which is that you have to love the game, exactly what you said.
You have to love it, yeah.
So once you love the game, then just have the confidence to sit down and play it. Don't worry about the fact that you might be the only woman at the table. I think that we come from a really male-dominated industry as it is, so
you can't let these men bully you around.
You just have to be comfortable. And so there's two things: love the game to the point where you love the losses as well, and you can like not let tilt get to you, and you're not playing scared money. And then just don't look at the men as men. They're just people. They're just players, and they may be better or worse than you, but they're not. This shouldn't be like a man versus woman thing. It should just be life. I love poker enough where I don't care about the stakes, and I love it enough where I'm like, I don't care who's at the table.
You're not going to win every tournament.
You're not.
You're not going to cash every tournament. Like tournaments go on and on and on. They're every day. You win some, you lose some. You know.
And there is a grind to it, so that's why you have to love it. You have to love the game to be able to play it for like 12 to 14 hours a day. Thank you, Princess, for coming. It's been so fun to talk to you. I'm so glad that I caught you. I love and appreciate you. You know that. I've been so excited about your success this year the success we're going to have in 2024.
Yes. We're just getting started.
It's just getting started. And everybody should play poker. And meet us at the table. We should do meetup games. We should do meetup games.
Yes, we should.
So we should. Yes. Luckily, we both live in LA, which is very cool and exciting. But like, we will be traveling the world. We're obviously here in Vegas. Wherever poker takes us, we'll be there.
We're in Vegas.
Yes.
We both live in LA. And they're right around the corner from each other, so